So, lads, Natalie Nakase was interviewed yesterday about how she dealt with Carla Late. So, Carla Late, if you guys don't know, a lot of people don't know much about the Valkyries. Carla Late is the second youngest guard in the league behind Layla Lacan that actually gets minutes. She is the age of, like, there are college juniors that are older than her. She is a year and a half younger than AZ Fudd. She is she's 2.5 years younger than Paige. She's 2 years younger than Caitlin, 2 and a bit years younger than Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Well, she's less than 2 years younger than Angel Reese, but she's super young. She turned 21 years old to start the season, and she is a player who's going to be a star. She is a player who, on her day, can do things that other guards just can't do. And she is she's very much a player that wants to go get hers and wants to make kind of crazy plays happen. And she committed a turnover, and this is what Natalie, late in the game, this is what Natalie Nakase said. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because we remember when Caitlin Clark was in the middle of the best game of her career. She was in the middle of the best game of her career. And she committed a turnover by throwing the ball to a wide open Aaliyah Boston. And a little bit, maybe an inch too high, Aaliyah got her hand on it but couldn't fully catch the ball. And if Aaliyah had caught it, it was a wide open layup. And then she got pulled and was told it was going to be a learning opportunity. And then when she came back on the floor, Kelsey Mitchell had a wide open layup, and she decided not to pass the ball to a player for a wide open layup because her coach got in her head. Let's listen to Natalie Nakase.
Brought her back to make some big plays down the stretch. Did you prepare her in any way for the return?
Yeah, I told her I don't care if she turns the ball over. I said, I know she's not trying to turn the ball over. Like I said, sometimes she's just getting physically bumped. So if she gets physically bumped, like, what's going to happen? She might lose the ball. I told her, I don't care. I said, I'm going to put you back in, and you're going to kick some ass. And that's what she did. I just kind of gave her a breather, because they were kind of being super physical. So I said, hey, I'm just going to give you a breather. You're going to go right back in. I trust her completely. I trust her with making the calls. She's brilliant down the stretch. She's very brilliant down the stretch. And she likes big plays. She is not scared to do that step back three. She is not scared. And so you need players like that. You need players who can close.
So basically, she's not trying to turn it over. We're just giving her a breather. Had to basically remind her, I don't care if you turn the ball over, and that she's brilliant down the stretch. She wants to make big plays, and we need players like that. So you got one coach having to remind a player, I don't mind if you turn the ball over. You do you. Basically, you do you. We trust you down the stretch. And you've got another coach saying to their star player, who has again had the most points in the clutch in the history of for rookies. In rookie history. You've got that coach pulling him out, being like, well, you need to learn. You need to learn more. You know all that stuff that is the reason why the Indiana Fever were so good in the clutch. You know all that stuff that used to will the teams back into games. You know all the great things you do. We want to change you as a player. We don't want you. You see, you should be looking at Paige Bueckers tapes. It's like David Moyes telling Rio Ferdinand to look at Phil Jagielka tapes. Like, I wouldn't be that surprised if she starts telling her to look at Paige Bueckers tapes in the offseason. She starts, look at how Paige Bueckers screens. Look at how Paige Bueckers screens. And then you've got a coach being like, especially for the Valks, because the Valks don't have that much star power. They don't. They're a real good team. But the reason the Valks need Carla late is she is their only guard that's going to make something happen late in the game. Veronica Burton's really good. She's not really going to make something happen. Kate Martin's not going to make anything happen. It is very much, Carla Late is the dynamic guard on this team. She is the guard that's going to take them home. And she's going to become better and better in the clutch. And you've got a coach straight away saying, I told her I don't care about turnovers. I told her I don't care. I'm going to put you back in. You're going to kick some ass. And that's what she did. And when Caitlin Clark, got pulled for one turnover for a learning opportunity, she talked about how she then second-guessed herself making a pass. She makes 100 times out of 100. She makes 100 times out of 100. And I understand maybe in that specific situation, it might have been the right idea to make that pass, but we can't tell a player who plays off instinct to stop playing off instincts. Anyone who knows ball knows that is not what you do. That is not what you do. Like, you absolutely have to let dynamic players be dynamic. You have to let them play their game. Because if you don't let dynamic players play their game, they start second-guessing themselves and what they start to do well. Ironically, when Caitlin starts overthinking, she turns the ball over more. When she overthinks, she turns the ball over more. When she overthinks, she stops playing defense. When she overthinks, she starts thinking, oh, should I shoot or should I not? And starts doing dumb shit. And that's the thing where it's like knowing your players. It's about knowing your players. And it's very, very clear that Natalie Nakase knows her players. Knows exactly the type of player that Carla Late is. Knows exactly why Carla Late is who she is. Why Carla Late is seen as this, not generational guard, geez, the word generational, but this like potential good starting guard in the WNBA. And again, there's only 13 teams. Like you're bored. If you're a starting point guard, you're borderline. You could fuck about and make an all-star any given year. So yeah, that's the video. Like, it is crazy listening to this, and I'm like, this is how coaches are meant to treat their players. Well, not even treat the players, talk about their players in public. Whereas, you know when a coach doesn't like a player, and it's not a personal thing. It's not a personal thing. There's no way that Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark don't like each other as people. There's no way they don't respect each other as people. But philosophically, there's too big of a difference between Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark. There is too big of a difference philosophically between this player and this coach for it to be for this to work out. There is too big of a difference. And I think long term, it's not about Nakase. We're like, oh, the Fever should have gotten Nakase. Now, I think the Fever I don't think the Fever interviewed anybody. I think the Fever had Steph White signed up before they fired Christy Sides. Like, they were the first team to hire a coach while being the last team to fire the coach. So there's no way that that the Fever didn't already have Stephanie White lined up. They knew it was going to happen. As the second Stephanie White left Connecticut Sun, every single person knew she was gone to the Indiana Fever. Every single person knew exactly where Stephanie White was gone. She was gone to the Indiana Fever. And I think Stephanie White's a real good coach. Like, I think when Stephanie White eventually is gone from the Fever, I think it'll be one of those things where it's probably going to be like a mutual consent type scenario. Or not mutual consent, yeah. Where it's like, I think Stephanie White's going to be like, look, this isn't working. I'm going to walk into this other job, and the Fever are going to be like, yeah, we're not going to stop you. I think that's what's going to happen when it comes to Stephanie White. But at the end of the day, look, Natalie Nakase's done a hell of a job with the Valks and done a hell of a job with their dynamic guard in Carla Late. She's done a real good job.